I've had the weirdest morning. Like, it's been a crazy, eventful morning. And I will go over it with all of you guys. Right now, I'm like headed into like I would say I'm headed into the ghetto, but the last time I used that word, the fucking internet lost their fucking minds. So, listen, I don't know how the internet wants me to word it. I'm going into a lower income area that has a lot of crime so that I could try to find my specialty that everybody is out of. I'm doing that now, and then where I'm headed, you guys are never gonna believe it, because if you know me, then you know that like I avoid these people at all costs, but I feel like I need to put in a notice in case something happens or something. I don't know. I'll explain more in a minute. I'll be right back. I've got cotton mouth. It's so fucking bad. Okay, I'll be right back. So I drink this special black and white tea. I say it's special because I can't find it anywhere. Whether it's actually special, I don't know. But so I've got 2 stores that are like within like a mile radius or so of me, and I have both of them ordering me cases of this tea because nobody can get it in. Like, no stores can get it in. So the craziest thing happened with a neighbor this morning, and I'm trying to debate on whether I should go to the police department and drop this off and say like, hey, can you look up whatever file matches this address and just put it with this, so that like, you know, like there's a follow-up or whatever. And I want to do it anonymously, and I'm gonna document it because a neighbor, so right now there's a lot of construction going on in my neighborhood. They've been doing a lot of work on the pipes and stuff, and they've been removing trees and all this stuff. Well, they've also cut through our internet wire 4 times now. I run businesses from home. I need the internet to update my websites. I need the internet to post for my clients. I need, like, which is okay, that's fine. I just take it as a sign as, oh, I need to get out of the house, whatever, okay? My husband on the other end is like, he has a corporate job, like an actual real people job. And he gets paid hourly, and he's losing quite a bit of money for every hour that he's not working. And we still have bills to pay, and this is the 4th time they've cut the internet wire while doing the stuff for the city. So finally, Chris has had enough. Like, if you know my husband, he is the most mellow, just chill guy. He's always like, yeah, just go with the flow, okay, like that's life kind of thing. And so for him to get upset, it was like, oh wow, like they have like done this like far too many times. Like, he's had enough, right? So he goes down and he's like, listen guys, what's going on? You guys have cut the wire 4 times. Like, I have work I have to do in order to get paid. Like, you know, what's happening? Like, well, apparently they got really rude with him. And if you know Chris, like, he's not a rude person. Like, I have only ever seen my husband get like snappy or rude or curse at somebody, I think maybe 1 time. And I was very taken back by it, because I was like, whoa, like, I didn't even know he could do that. Like, I was in amazement. I didn't like how it felt. I was like, ooh, I don't like that. But I was amazed that he could even like speak to somebody like that, because he is literally the nicest person. I'm the bulldog. I'm the one that'll like bite and then worry about the consequences later. Like, you know what I mean? Not my husband. Like, he's like the little like bear that you can poke and poke and poke and poke and poke, and he just giggles and giggles and giggles, but he doesn't attack. Like, total opposites. So he went down and he was like nice to them, you know, as he is to everyone. And they say like, oh yeah, like, well, that's not our problem because, well, we're a different contractor. So in their mind, they're like, this is only the first time we've cut it. But they don't think about the fact, like, right, it's the first time you've cut it, but it's the 4th time that it's been cut. So that's 4 days of work my husband's missing. Who's gonna reimburse him that money? Like, so I went down and I spoke to the engineer and I said, I need the information for the company of where to send the bill, not only for my husband who's missing work, but I run a business out of my house as well, and I also am missing work, and I plan on sending a bill to your company to reimburse us for the time we've missed. And so the engineer gave me the information and whatnot, so I will file all of that and do all of that. Okay. So I'm handling that. That's the very first thing that goes on this morning. So I'm handling that. Then Chris says, hey, like, apparently the house that we thought was vacant, like, there's somebody in it. And like, the guy is like really aggressive and really nasty and really rude, and like came out and like started being whatever with Chris. So let me explain here for a minute. My husband had the house that he has, or that we have. It's his house. It's his house. He had it before I ever came along. And he's been there like 17 years or something ridiculous. Like, he's been there a really long time. So I don't know what's wrong with other people, but I was raised in a very small town where you look out for your neighbor. Like, if somebody comes to your neighbor's house and you've never seen that person, you go outside and you say, excuse me, how may I help you? Why are you here? Like, they didn't send me a message or call me to tell me you were coming. Like, who are you? Like, it was a very nosy neighborhood, but it was very safe, okay? Like, neighbors looked out for each other. And I understand, like, you shouldn't overstep your bounds, but like, you should watch out for your neighbor. Like, I would hope to God that if Kat is one of my neighbors, I would hope that if she saw somebody walk into my house that she's never seen before, and they're walking out with big screen TVs, that she would do something. Like, I don't know, call the police or shoot them or something. But apparently, like, that's not what you do anymore. I don't know. I always say that I was born in the wrong time frame. I'm trying to go back in time. Everybody else is trying to go forward. Everybody wants all this technology. I'm trying to grow my own food, write hand letters, like, get off the grid. Because people in real life, they're just, well, at least on the internet, for sure, they're nasty, okay? In real life, I'm not around nasty people. If you're a nasty person, I just remove myself from the situation. So I just don't deal with nasty people in real life, because why would I waste my energy on that shit? Like, but apparently a house that we thought was vacant, because right now a lot of houses in the area have sold because the market is really high and people are getting $400,000 for a house in one day, easy. So the market's doing really well. So a lot of people have sold, and some people are coming in and doing remodeling. And then we have 2 neighbors. One lives in Spain, one lives in Canada. So they're only here like 1 to 3 months out of the year. They're not here a lot. So, sorry, I have cotton mouth really bad. Oh, we have a big bay window. Like, we can see everything in the neighborhood, you know what I mean? And we watch out for the houses, because we know that, like, there's nobody in this house, 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 all in which are right in front of us. There's nobody in any of those houses. People could go in and rob them. People could go in and squat or squander or whatever the fuck it is that they do. And then, you know, we walk Harrison every night and stuff, and there's another house that's on the other side of one of my neighbors that we never see anybody, ever. We've never seen anybody come into that house, go out of that house. I think one time, we saw a car in the driveway, but it was only there for like a day and then it was gone. And we were like, what the hell? So we thought maybe like it was an elderly person and maybe they died, and so like the house has just been empty. We didn't know. Like, we had no idea. All we knew is we never see anybody come or go. We never see anything happening with this house. So what do? being the good neighbors that we are, that's how we see it, being the good neighbors we are, we take Harrison on his nightly walk. So it would have been like 9:45, maybe 10 o'clock-ish, because we would be going to bed and that would be the last time he'd get to go out to pee. So we walk him really late so that he doesn't have to hold it for very long overnight. Like, we were on our last nightly walk for the night, and Chris thought that he had seen motion in the house. And he said, oh, that's weird. Here, like, hold Harrison. Like, that's weird. Like, nobody should be in that house. Like, nobody lives there. So he went up to the window and he looked in and he checked to see, like, if there was a burglar. Like, if somebody, like, broke into the house. If somebody was robbing the house. Like, if somebody was, like, I guess not squatting in the house. Like, because we wouldn't have any way to know, really. Because, anyways, it was weird. It was just weird. So he thought he saw motion, so he went up and he looked in the big, because they also have a big bay window, and so he looked in to see, and he came back and he goes, no, I guess there's not anybody. He was like, I looked in there for a little while, like, there's no lights on or whatever. He was like, but I didn't see motion. So he's like, I guess, you know, maybe I was wrong, whatever, I don't know. So we continued to walk on, right? And he mentioned, oh, you know, I noticed that they had a camera at the front of their porch. He was saying that was a good idea because we have the doorbell, you know, we wanted to put one in. Like, he just mentioned it. Like, it was like, hey, oh, I saw that they had a camera facing that direction. Like, that was a good idea. And I was like, oh, well, good. At least we know that they have cameras. So if there is something that happens, they'll get like some sort of notification if there is somebody that actually lives here. To us, we thought, that's great. We don't have to worry about this house as much because we watch all the houses to make sure nothing happens. Apparently there is somebody that owns that house. Apparently, I don't know, I guess they're living there. I don't know. This is the first time I've ever seen them or talked to them or had any kind of encounter with them was today. And same for Chris. Let's start with, they are from New York, and apparently he's been a police officer in New York for 25 years. There may be some people that watch this video that are like, Blue Lives Matter and police are so important. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. But if you know anything about police in New York, especially in the 80s and 90s, like 25 years ago, then you know that they would have no problem beating the shit out of you for no reason, potentially killing you and removing your teeth so that you can't be identified. Okay, let's be very serious about the type of person we're talking about when I say a 25-year-old background in policing in New York, okay? And you could tell he was that type of person or that type of cop by the way he approached this situation. So here's me and my husband, who are just these happy-go-lucky hippies that we grow our food, we try to like do good by Mother Nature, we look out for other humans, we just try to be good people, okay? We think we're doing something good because we thought somebody was in their house at night. And so we just checked. We didn't go in their house, we didn't try to open any doors or windows, we just checked to make sure we didn't see anybody in there getting anything, okay? Okay. Chris was outside talking to the people doing the city work. This man comes out of a house that we thought was vacant, that we thought was empty. I've got you on camera trying to break into my house. Where do you live? Who are you? Why are you down here? Why are you here? This and that, yada, 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 yada. Chris was like past his limit limit of fed up because of the whole internet and having to deal with the city and having to deal with the internet company and having to deal with like everything because the city cut the wires while trying to do the pipes to redo the sewage, and like it was a rough morning. So this guy that's far bigger than Chris, the guy had to be 6'3", 6'4", big guy, from New York, very loud, very aggressive, how the police are, like, oh, fuck you up, kind of, whatever, right? And Chris was like, dude, like, fuck you, like, I was trying to watch out for your house, like, I'm your neighbor, like, and the guy was just like, rah, rah, rah. So Chris was like, fuck you, like, forget it, and walks off. He comes home, he's really upset, he's like, can you believe this? I'm like, oh, hell no, like, you're not gonna talk to my husband like that. So I go out, I talk to the people that are doing the work for the city. I'm like, I need to speak to the engineer that's in charge of this job because I need to know where to send a bill, because I'm sending a bill for my work missed and my husband's work missed because we're getting reimbursed because you fucked up and we need the internet to do our jobs. So I need to know how to get a hold of whoever's in charge of the billing. So I got that taken care of. Then the guy is like, that comes out is all like, who are you? Because it's right in front of the guy's house where Chris like checked the house or whatever. Like there's no sidewalk stuff. Like that's where the stuff's being done. He comes out, who are you, yelling at me? I'm like, oh, I'm your neighbor. Like, I just want to clarify, like, I just want to let you know that, you know, we do the neighborhood watch type of thing. So I just want to clarify, if you don't want us to watch your house, like, that's okay. We don't have to. He wouldn't even let me get the sentence all the way out of my mouth. Oh, your neighborhood watch? Who are you registered with? You got to be registered with somebody of your neighborhood watch. Who do you think that you are? Like, I've been a cop in New York for 25 years and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, whoa, like, calm down. Like, it's okay. Like, this dude's literally gonna give himself a fucking stroke. Like, so the wife comes up behind him and she's all like, what's happening? And I said, oh, hi ma'am, like, I'm your neighbor, my husband and I were walking the dog. And she goes, well, we didn't see a dog. Well, I'm trying to have a conversation with her, and he's like just barking over the top of us where I like can't hear her, and she's clearly too scared of her husband to speak up or to say anything or to be like, chill the fuck out, like, what's wrong with you, psycho? Like, so I'm like, yeah, I had the dog back there by the tree. We thought we saw motion. He was just making sure nobody was breaking in. And, you know, they wouldn't listen. They wouldn't listen. Who do you think you are? Who are you registered with? I was the police and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, and every other word is the fuck bomb. Like, who the fuck do you think you are? Where the fuck do you live? Like, blah, 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 blah. Okay? So I'm like, listen, my sister works for the sheriff's department. I have her on speed dial. If something goes wrong, I'm the person that you want to know about it, because I can be like, hi, that's my mom. Are you there?
Yeah.
All right, hold on just a second. So I'm like, okay, like, well, if you don't want us to watch out for you, it's cool, but like, you're not just gonna like scream at me like this, like, fuck you, like, fuck your thin blue line, fuck your gang members, fuck whatever. He's like, well, I already filed a police report and I gave them his photo and blah, and I'm like, all right, well, cool, well, we didn't do anything wrong. So I have written it all out. So because I figured if he's made a police report, I may as well let them know what happened, why it happened, why we were there. And so we're gonna see how this works out. I'm gonna take it to them and we'll see what happens, I guess. I don't know. But it's the craziest shit I ever seen. So, all right, I'm gonna head to the police department and I'm gonna tell my mom everything I just told you guys, so. Let's see how this goes. We're gonna go into the main entrance. They're probably gonna make me come back over here, but we're gonna go in this main entrance and see. Okay, I am leaving the sheriff's department. He definitely didn't file anything with the sheriff's department, they said. They said it might have been at Largo, in the Largo district. So I'm gonna go over to Largo and have them also look it up, excuse me, by address and see if a report was filed or if the guy was just like being a liar and whatever. Because if there is in fact an open file, I don't want them looking for somebody. So I'm gonna head there now and see if they have anything, because this guy says based on that address, like, there's been no reports made, so he's a liar. Unless it's not the sheriff's department and it's PD instead, which is a possibility. So we're gonna go check, because I have nothing to hide from. I did nothing wrong, my husband did nothing wrong, and I don't want the police to be out looking for us because somebody thinks that we did something wrong. Like, no, fuck you. Like, I'll just feel better at night. Even if I find out he didn't really file a report and that was a lie, I'll at least feel better knowing that I did my part to make sure that whatever was taken care of. So that's all I can do. Alright, so here I am, visitors parking at Largo PD. So let's go in and see. Let's see if anything's been filed here.
Called in and made a report.
Called in and
criminal.
Alright, called in and made a report, but nothing criminal.
Yep.
Okay.
Basically that an unknown man was peering into the house. That's just exactly what the fuck you told me.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to it.
Okay.
He said he lives in New York, so he's probably up and down, and you have a rude ass neighbor now.
Yeah, great, thanks. Yeah, he said, oh, I was a cop in New York for 25 years, and he was very aggressive. And all I could think was 25 years ago, it was really bad back then. 25 years ago in New York, it was really, really corrupt, like really bad. Like, that doesn't make me feel better, sir.
I'm gonna picture that. But you're absolutely right. There's nothing going on now.
Okay, so do you want this? This explains everything.
No.
Okay.
It's not gonna have any follow-up. It's not anything.
Okay, so nobody's looking for my husband. Okay.
He didn't have a name.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm like, they're just gonna be putting a thing that says wanted because who knows why, but I don't want you guys to think he's a burglar. He's not. Like, we literally
Honestly,
thought we were doing the right thing,
You
like,
can keep that if you want, but
just to document it.
But
Like,
no, I'm not gonna take it because there's no damn point. He did his neighborly duty.
Yeah.
Checking on the house.
yeah.
So you're fine.
Okay, thank you.
It's not even listed as a crime. It's just listed as suspicious behavior.
Okay,
So your
okay.
old neighbor can go like back to New York.
Yeah, I can't wait. Well, and he was impossible to talk to. I'm like, sir, it's just a misunderstanding. And he was just barking.
People like that you can't.
I know, that's why I said, I even wrote it on here. I said, when somebody won't listen and they're angry and they're on an ego trip, you can't. I just walked away. I said, sir, I'm just gonna walk away.
And I hate to say it, cops are pretty bad about that.
I know.
Because especially it's their cops. Because back then they had so much power that it is who they are.
I know.
So
And it said, so I said to him, I said, I just want to clarify. I said, so if somebody breaks into your house, you don't want me calling the police,
but
right?
you want me to just mind my own business.
Right.
There you go. Now you figured it out.
Yeah, it's just sad that people are like that. You know what I mean?
You know what,
Like,
honestly, don't let him affect. If you see something weird, be the good neighbor. But just, don't go out of your way.
yeah, I won't. It's just so crazy that people think that somebody's out to get them at all times.
I
You
know.
Like,
But that's what, honestly though, that's what this job does to us. Like,
it's sad.
it's so uncomfortable all the time. So it sucks, and especially back then, either you were on the payroll or you were being hunted. So I mean,
Yeah.
I kind of get it from the inside point of view, but it's still there's no justification.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry.
It's okay, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm just glad that he's gonna get in trouble for trying to do something good. Like, I was so worried.
No.
So I'm leaving the police department. The guy did call them, but the lady was like, no, like, you have nothing to worry about. She's like, I'm sorry that you experienced that. She's like, but that's how this job makes a lot of us, and we think, you know, I'm like, it's not like everybody's out to get you. She's like, but this job makes you think that they are. And so she's basically agrees that he's a nutcase. So anyways, there's no follow-up. It wasn't anything criminal. It just said it looked suspicious or whatever. And she said, there is a photo of my husband. Can you imagine, like, if the police are like, oh, I saw a picture of you because you were breaking into people's houses, and Chris would be like, what the fuck are you talking about? I would never do such a thing. And misunderstandings happen so easily, especially if you refuse to listen. So be it. The lady said she's not gonna take fish. She goes, there's not gonna be any follow-up. There's not gonna be anything that's done. But they did call on the 29th. So that's hilarious. That is so hilarious. She said hopefully he goes back to New York soon. She goes, all you found out was that you have an asshole fucking neighbor that hopefully goes back to New York soon. That's hilarious.